All right, picking up where we left off. I told you that our solvent measurement was 38 millimeters, that our chemicals, yellow was 19, this pink was 30, and then the blue was 38. And if I punch that into my calculator, 19 divided by 38 for the yellow is 0.5. 30 divided by 38 is 0.79 for the pink. And then 38 divided by 38 for the blue is 1. So those are my RF values for those. Hopefully you guys got that when you worked it out. If not, we have a little bit more practice that we'll be doing in class. You need to ask questions and make sure you totally get this before we move on, because you'll be using this and fingerprinting to solve a case soon. So you need to make sure you have it down. I also want to make sure that you know how to work this equation. So you guys have seen this triangle before. You've seen it when we used it in integrated physical science. So hopefully you remember how it works. If the two things that you have are next to each other, you can multiply because you're looking for your chemical distance in this case. So what I've given you is the RF value and the solvent distance. And looking for the chemical distance here. So in this case, you would actually take the RF value and multiply it by the solvent distance. And that would give you your answer. And if you were looking, so to try to identify what I have here, you would actually look at your RF value and then compare that to a list of known chromatography RF values for pens. Okay, so that's the next thing I have for you. And if you look, the one that it's closest to, so going back just once, we have a RF value of 0.25 and an RF value of 6.5. So looking here, the one that is actually closest is our Crayola marker. So that's the one that I would choose. This is not an exact science. It gives you a range, and I want you to be aware of that. It's not going to match perfectly. It will get you really close. But you have to be aware of that when you're trying to identify a pen, so that you choose the closest match and not. And realize that there is room for error here. So, and then there's also another pen down here that has the same. So it could have been a Crayola marker or a Pentel. So that limits the field, but it does not identify a specific pen even. And I want you to be aware of that. This is what I mean when I'm talking about class evidence. This is what class evidence is. It narrows the field. It doesn't identify a very specific person. So it gives you a grouping of people. Okay? That's the difference between class evidence and individual evidence. Individual evidence, like fingerprints, will tell you exactly who the person is, while class evidence will not. It will just get you close to a group of people who may have been your suspect. Okay? Make sure you're aware of that and keep that in mind when we're doing investigations.